Yesterday, Astra attempted to launch the world's smallest orbital class rocket for the 10th time ever. Let's take a deep dive into what went right, what fell short. I'm Grapes, and this is the Space Report. Less than 24 hours ago on June 12th, 2022 at exactly 1:44 p.m. Eastern Local Time, Astra launched their smallsat rocket from Space Launch Complex 46 from Port Canaveral, Florida. About a minute into flight, Astra shared some amazing views, actually looking south towards Launch Complex 25 and Port Canaveral as the rocket attempts to pitch over to the east. At exactly 3 minutes into flight, there was a nominal MECO, or main engine cutoff, followed 5 seconds later by fairing separation. Right on time at the planned 3 minutes and 10-second mark, you can see the stage separation despite a buffering onboard camera. At this point during launch, it had appeared everything was going nominal. After the second stage engine ignited, there was actually a planned burn for 5 minutes and 15 seconds to reach an orbital velocity of 7,850 meters a second, or 17,500 miles an hour. This is the most important part of flight because if the engine does not burn for that entire 5 minutes and 15 seconds, it wouldn't have that speed that it needs to reach orbit, causing the payload to come back, burn up into some fine particles of space dust re-entering the atmosphere. Speaking of payload, Astra was launching 2 out of the 6 planned Tropic CubeSats for NASA, each no more than 1 foot long. CubeSat comprises of a 2U Blue Canyon Technology spacecraft bus with an attitude determination and control system, avionics, power, communications, and a 1U spinning radiometer payload with highly integrated compact microwave receiver electronics designed at MIT's Lincoln Laboratory. The science team consisted of 11 individuals across the wide range of organizations and universities. The payloads were set to be deployed at 8 minutes and 10 seconds into flight. It wasn't until about 7 minutes into flight that some commotion in Astra's new mini mobile mission control was seen. If you take a look back at the manager of launch operations, Chris Hoffman, you can see him say something to the crew after presumably realizing that they were about to lose that second stage. After 7 minutes and 20 seconds into flight, the second stage engine is seen emitting what appears to be some type of propellant, causing a premature shutdown. If you note the velocity in the bottom right, it reached a maximum speed of 6,575 meters a second, or 534 kilometers at 1.5 million feet. At this point, the velocity starts to decelerate, while the momentum of the rocket continues to carry it on its parabolic trajectory. So what actually happened? Shortly after launch at 2:02 p.m. Eastern Local Time, Astra tweeted an official statement that read, "We had a normal first stage flight. The upper stage shut down early, and we did not deliver the payloads to orbit. We have shared our regrets with NASA and the payload team. More information will be provided after we complete a full data review." After reviewing all publicly available data closely, there were a couple things that caught my eye. At 1 minute and 23 seconds into flight, Astra switched over to the onboard camera, which was a little confusing at first glance. This view is actually a mirrored image looking south towards Launch Complex 25 and Port Canaveral as the rocket attempts to pitch over to the east. If you look close at T+1 minute and 25 seconds, the rocket makes actually a quick pitch to the north before gaining control and pitching in the intended direction. This mission was set to have a due east track to follow the equator. At T+9 minutes and 10 seconds into flight, 2 minutes after loss of signal, Astra updated their telemetry. If you look closely, you can see that the path of the rocket stayed within perimeters, kind of veered off a little bit to the south there. Now, when launching something that doesn't need to be within inches of the intended target, it's okay not to go straight down the barrel, but you need to, reach orbital speeds or else you're going to be coming back to Earth. Astronomer Jonathan McDowell said, "I estimate re-entry about 400 kilometers west of Dakar. I am now a bit more confident that debris wouldn't have got quite as far as the African coast." Good news there. A couple final notes is that while many expected to hold for a 10% chance of good weather, the weather actually stayed away and allowed for a launch. There was a backup window open the next day, June 13th, 2022. During the countdown, there was a lengthy hold. Astra had said that the hold was to allow for liquid oxygen conditioning. That means that the oxygen in the engine got a little too hot, and they needed to keep cycling it through, get that temperature down, which is very critical for rocket performance. If no malfunction is found and the engine performance comes back normal in data, it would almost indicate that due to the hold, the propellant had time to heat up at an unexpected rate, causing a reduction in available mass, therefore resulting in an early shutdown once the engine was starved of LOX. Now we'll wait and see what the official word is, and if this slows Astra down in the coming weeks, As the saying goes, space is hard.